Hello there and welcome. I'm Ole, and if you're new here, I really hope I'll earn you a subscription today. Yeah, as you can see, I'm standing up, and today I'm not gonna build some miniature projects. I am going to make a minor or maybe a bigger upgrade on all this. I have these 3 monitors, and one of the things I have wished for a long time is when I'm editing videos, I want an extra monitor up here. I have recently switched out this main monitor to an OLED 240Hz monitor, and I still have one of the 3 identicals I had before, so I'm going to place the leftover one up here. I also want to do something about these acoustic panels, so they will have to go. But I have bought something that will look a bit nicer because I think it looks a bit messy up here. And this bar up here, I will remove that as well because it's just a leftover from when I was having my paints down here. I'm so happy that I have moved all my paints over here and made a separate setup for that. There's a lot of things to be done here, so we better get started. I'll speed up the process of me unmounting all my equipment and cleaning out the desk. We need some room for what's to come. I also hope that I can make some better cable management, but I'll still have to think about how I'm going to do that. Or if it's gonna be better, I don't know. And also, this bar have to go. It's actually an old water pipe and it served its purpose well, but now it's deprecated. This is the rule set that Venture Forth follows. It's a great podcast and you should go listen to it. And then I had a gift from Mike Moans. I'll have to figure out somewhere I can put it up again. Removing the last things is my monitor arms. They were previously mounted on the wall, but now I have bought a 3-way monitor arm. It says 27-inch monitors, but it is going to give me a problem later. There is 3 VESA mounts, and then we have this bracket if you want to mount the arms on a table. I'm not going to use that. I am going to use this piece. With this one, I can just put it here directly on the table, drill a hole, put this threaded rod through the hole and mount this pole on top of this grommet. But we will get back to this later. Now for my new acoustic panels. I bought 4 of these smoked oak panels. I really love the design of this panel type. They were maybe a bit expensive, but these were on sale and I got them for about €30 each. In this point of time, it's almost the same in US dollars. Maybe that's expensive, but I think they look nice and I just want a new look in my office. They're pretty easy to cut to size and I can just use my circular saw. Half of the backside is just a thick piece of felt and then you have these wooden oak bars on top of it that are stapled to the felt. So the circular saw will just chew right through it. My saw isn't the best, it makes a bit rough cut, but I can use some sandpaper to smooth things out and blow the dust off. And the first panel is ready to be mounted. It was actually cut pretty precise to size, so I could put it in by tension, but I think I will put in a screw or 2 later. And then it's just doing some more measurements and cut some panels. Something went wrong in my measuring and calculating on how many panels I needed, so I decided to cut them in half and not let them cover the full wall, since the monitors would cover that anyway. And that was a big mistake. To get the right angle on my sloped ceiling, I used a piece of paper and folded it to get the right angle. And then it was pretty easy to draw a couple of lines and then make the cut. For once I calculated something right and this one fits perfectly. Now I just need to mount the base plate for the monitor arm. And don't mind the blue tape on the drill bit. That's from a previous project and it's not something that I'm going to use here. Letting the threaded rod going through the hole and mount it on the pole. And this one needs to be tight because we don't want a wobbly thing. I put one of the VESA mounts on the monitor just to make a test fit. And the weight from just one monitor was enough to let this arm slide totally down. And even tightening the bolt as hard as I could, it didn't work. So I had to come up with a solution. I found the right height for the monitor arm and made some markings with a pencil, drilled a couple of holes and put in a screw. This will prevent the monitor arm sliding down the pole. I mounted all my monitors just to test things out, and as you can see, they are overlapping each other. We are going to fix that later, but first I want to do something about my cable management. I took this wooden board. It will cover the full width of my table behind the monitors. And I will make a cutout behind the Rodecaster Pro. It will cover up most of the cables, but all the cables will be hidden behind this tiny wall. I'll mount it using a couple of angle brackets and screws. And then I will use some of the leftover cutoffs from the acoustic panels. I will just cut them to size and cover the board with this acoustic panel too. I've also mounted a wall bracket for my microphone. And back to the problems with my monitors overlapping. This monitor arm is rated for 27-inch monitors, and that's pretty okay if you're going to have a 3-monitor setup with total flat panels. But I want some more angle, and they are just too short to do that, so I have to fix it. But I got an idea. I want to move the VESA bracket about an inch to each side on the outer monitors. I have this perforated steel plate and I just need to drill some new holes and cut them to size, and I think this will work. I'll mount the steel brackets to the VESA mount using a couple of nuts and bolts. The bolts were a bit too long, so I just had to trim them down. And now the VESA mount is pushed about an inch to the right on this monitor and an inch to the left on the other monitor. I'll just mount it with the screws that came with the VESA mounts. I'll use one of my old wall mounts for the top monitor. The angle of the monitors is perfect. I just need a couple of wall brackets for my cam and my lights. And now I notice that I hate that I cut these acoustic panels too short. I used the last acoustic panel cutoffs to cover all the visible white wall that you can see on cam. The last thing I can do is just cleaning all my equipment and dust off everything, because it was quite nasty down there when I took it down. And I am done. I'm really happy about how this turned out, or actually how it's going to turn out, because I ordered a couple of more of these acoustic panels because I cut them off too high, so I want them to go from top to bottom. But that's a minor thing and I will do that off cam. I also have another issue over in this corner where I messed something up. And we have the 4th monitor. I also got that to work, and this is so cool. Now I can have a main picture up here as a monitor when I'm editing videos, and I've missed that a lot. This is it for now. If you really think I've earned it, please hit that subscribe button if you already haven't done it, or leave a comment and like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.